Accelerator. Good to see you. Hi, Kim. How are you? Changing my glasses here. Hi. Good to see you. Good to see you. Listen, guys, if this is your first time with me, please put a 1 in the chat so I can introduce myself properly. If you've been with me before, then you know my background. How are you? How are you? Come on in. I'm not going to be before you very long. I just wanted to give you some information if you are interested in seeking grant dollars for your nonprofit organization. My name is Jennifer. I'm the grant guru. I've got close to 30 years of grant writing, grant research, and grant review experience. What I have been doing for the last close to 30 years is working with nonprofit organizations to identify their grant funding needs as well as their organization's sustainability needs. If you guys have been with me before, you know I'm always talking about sustainability. It is more than getting one grant. You need more than one grant. You need an organization sustainability plan. That's what you need. Hi, Marcy. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. If this is your first time, please put a 1 in the chat. Also, I would ask that you invite your followers. If you know anyone who is interested in grant funding, they have a nonprofit looking to start a nonprofit and are interested in figuring out if grant writing is the best way for them to acquire funds for their organization, you might want to share this with them. Yesterday, I shared that an organization, the grant budget should be only 20% of your overall operating budget. We often talk about on my scopes how grants are 20% of your overall operating budget. Where should the other 80% come from in order to sustain your organization? Hi, Dia. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Saturday. I'm here in rainy California. I would say sunny, but it is raining pretty good here in California today. Hi there. Thank you so much for joining. Please share with some of your followers if you would like to, if you think they would like this topic as well. Thank you for the hearts. To the replay viewers, those of you guys who are familiar with who I am, thank you so much for joining as well. I wanted to just give a few reasons why grant writing might be perfect for your nonprofit organization. I often share that grant writing is not hard, right? It's freezing. Where are you? Here in California, it's wet. It is like raining. We need the water though. We need it. So I'm not complaining, but I'm looking forward to the sun coming back. One of the things that, telling my friend about you, she has a Christian web series. Oh, awesome. I hope that I'm on catch. So if she misses my scopes here, then I'm on catch as well. So yeah, I'd be happy to talk with her and my to get on my calendar for my 45-minute free consult. That's on my profile as well. Awesome. Thank you for sharing about me. I hope that the information I share is helpful. Today, I want to talk about if you are in fact ready to apply for funding. You know, I always talk about being ready, understanding sustainability, understanding your organization's financial plan, right? But today I want to talk about the money that's out there. There's close to $80 billion in grant funds. Hi, T. Robertson. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for the hearts. Again, guys, if you don't mind sharing this and inviting your followers, I'd be greatly appreciative of that. Hello. There are billions. There's close to $80 billion out there now for grant funding. All right. So the question is not, are there grant dollars for this program? Or the question is not, Jen, do you think this is a great idea to get grant funding? That's not the question. The money is out there. There are funds out there. That's the wonderful thing about grants also, is that you can have a nonprofit and you can probably find somebody who will fund your program or your idea. What is the catch? The catch is that you've got to have a competitive program. Right? I have always shared that the grant writing process is a competitive process, right? As a grant reviewer, we go through stacks of proposals and we're looking to see whose proposals line up, match up, and most meet the criteria of the funder. So the question is not, are there monies out there? Yes, there are lots of money out there. My question back to you is, do you have a program that is well thought out, that you understand the needs, you understand the impact, you understand your audience, and you understand how much that's going to cost? Because those are the ones who get funding. All right? Those are the ones who get funding. So, if in fact you are looking or thinking about grant writing, I can tell you there are lots of money out there. If you have a grant idea, more than likely you can find a funder, right? So what is the catch? The catch is matching up your program, your mission, your goals, your objectives, your capacity, and the desire of money that you want and what you want to use those funds for with a grantor, with the foundation, with the federal government, with whoever that also has the same area of interest. The area of interest, the funds available, and you meet their guidelines. That's the key. As a reviewer, I often disqualify applications and proposals because they don't meet the criteria, right? So we never write for the money. We never write for the money. You are always writing to match your area of interest, your program delivery, your audience with the area of interest of the foundation. That's the partnership. That's the marriage. That is where a funder is looking to give funds to those organizations that meet their criteria, have a similar interest, and fall within their lines and their guidelines. Okay? Again, if there are ever any questions, please put it in the chat and I'll be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. Okay? I am not new to this, guys. I've been doing this a long, long, long time. The other thing is that there are grants that could meet a lot of your organizational needs. Again, lining up your needs with the foundation's area of interest in the area of funding, right? So if they will fund operations, if they will fund program, if they will fund faith-based organizations, if they will fund individuals, if they will fund businesses and companies, all of that falls within the funder's guidelines, which are very clear. They lay that out very clearly. You just have to find out which ones are best suited to marry what you want to do. Thanks, Mary, for coming back. Marrying what you want to do on the delivery side with the funder who has the funds to help you move forward within your area of community to have an impact. They are interested in impact. All right? So the question is grant writing good for your organization? I would say yes, if in fact you have a program that meets the needs and is in line with the funder's goals, all right, their guidelines. Hi, Solange Dujor. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Please invite your followers, guys. This is information that you are not going to find on Google. You are not going to find this information from someone possibly who's only interested in writing. You just got off work. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you had a good day. It's not even 3 o'clock here in California, so I'm not sure where you are, but it's a little wet here. So that's what you're in Georgia. Okay, it's getting a little later there. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Listen, if you guys have any questions at all about grant writing, about your program, about your organizational needs, please, please, please help me. Working at the Master Golf. Oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun. I hope it was a perfect day for golf. I hope it was a perfect day for golf. That's awesome. That's awesome. That sounds like a really nice event too. Riverside, California. You're close, Miss Mary. Awesome. I am in Monrovia. That's great. That's great. Windy. Oh, I understand. I understand. I understand. It's rainy here, but you know, I can't complain. In terms of weather, I can never complain, right? So listen, guys, have you been successful in getting your grants? If you have been successful, or you are looking to be successful, let me answer it that way. If you have never applied for a grant or looking forward to applying for a grant, please put a 1 in the chat. What's stopping you from getting a grant? What's stopping you? Hi, Mig Speaks. Good to see you. In the past we have. Awesome. Awesome. And have you been successful? Hopefully you have. Hopefully you have. Hi there. Hi there. Good to see you. Good to see you. I just wanted to stop in really quickly. I've got to go and finish my message for tomorrow, but I wanted to just jump in quickly and give you guys a quick scope and an encouragement, right? I'm going to start this coming week. Awesome, 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 awesome. Good, good, good. I wish you all the best. If there's anything that I can do to help, please let me know. Please let me know. On Wednesday, April 27th, I'm doing a webinar. Hi, Nicolette. Thank you so much for joining. I'm doing a webinar, guys, on the secrets to getting grant funding now. Getting grant funding now. Okay, I'm going to go through all of the things regarding your program, your organizational needs, and sustainability. Because as I shared yesterday, grant funds only make up about 20% of your overall operating budget. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. Do you know of any of the child care or faith-based? Do you know of any for child care? I need my school to happen. Yeah, you need your school to happen. There are lots of funds. The question is not if there's money, right? I was just sharing. There are billions. There's close to $80 billion. $80 billion in grant funds, right? So there are funds out there. The question is, do you have a program that is well thought out? Because those are the people who get the funding. It's a competitive process. You need to understand your goals, your objectives. You need to understand your impact, right? Research is key. Lining up your program goals, right? What you deliver within your capacity and your area of interest with a funder's area of interest, looking at their criteria, looking at their limitations, and making sure that you match up with the funder's area of interest. That is what's key, okay? That's what's key. The research and finding those funders that are best suited to give money to your organization. It takes some work, but it is out there, right? But what they are looking for are programs that are well thought out, that you understand your goals and objectives, and that you're going to be able to manage the funds, right? A lot of times we talk about getting the funds, but we don't talk about the management of the funds, because there is going to be a requirement at the end of those funding. At the end of the spending of the grant, you're going to have to give a report, right? There is no free money. Grants are not free. If they were free, everybody would have them, okay? Grants are not free. You got to put out an application. You've got to meet guidelines, and you got to give a report on that funding. And that is usually why a lot of nonprofit organizations are not successful in getting grants, right? It is not a question of only the well-established people get money, or those that have been, if I'm applying for my grant for the first time, I'm not as likely to get. That's not necessarily true. Everybody has the same application. Everybody has the same guidelines. Everybody has to meet the same specification. Everybody. It's a very non-biased process. Those that are funded and are awarded funds have a well thought out program. They understand their impact, and they're able to put a reasonable budget around it. They understand the needs of the fundor. They understand the limitations and the guidelines. As a grant reviewer, a lot of the proposals that are disqualified, that do not get consideration for funding, is because they don't meet the criteria. I don't have a problem of being totally in compliance. Wow, I don't have a problem being totally in compliance. In compliance. In compliance with what? The state? With the state? Okay. The question also I get a lot is, Jen, are there funds for businesses? Yeah, there are funds for businesses, but the same issue applies. Everybody has an application. The question is not, is there money? Yes, there's money. Yes, there's money. Anyone who is giving out grant funds, you got to figure out who is giving out the funds, what their requirements are, what their restrictions are. There's a lot of restrictions. What are the areas of interest, and how much money is being given, right? So let's say you ask for $1,000. Let's say they have a budget, right? So they will announce how much money they are going to give out. They will also announce probably the max, right? The limit with which you can ask. And they will also probably say, how many grants they typically award, right? So that means not everybody's going to get money. So let's say they have $100,000 to give, and their range of giving is, let's say, $5,000 to $20,000. All right, and they may say we give out generally an average of 12 gifts. Let's say 12 gifts. Okay, that then means not everybody who applies is going to get funding. So you've got to understand that if you ask for $20,000 in the review process, right? So we got a stock of applications. We're looking at them, and those that rise to an area of a level of consideration, now we're having conversation, right? Those of us who are reviewing, we're having discussions about capacity. We're having discussions about budget. We're having discussions about impact. And so we may say, well, we can't really, because we only have a limited number of dollars. We may say, well, we may not be able to give them 20,000. We may give them 15, right? I mean, being in compliance and reporting after you get the fund. Oh, you got to be able to report now. Reporting is key. Reporting is key. And I can help with that. I can absolutely help with that. But you want to make sure that you understand the grant reporting process, because everybody has got to report. That is, everybody has got to acknowledge how their funds are spent. Why? Because they are using public dollars as well. That foundation has a board of directors that they've got to report to. They got a board that they've got to report and say, who'd you give money to? How much did you give them? What they do with the money, right? So it is public dollars. These are public dollars. They probably either have an estate, they have funds coming in for funders who also have an area of need, particularly if it's like a community foundation. All of these people are giving money into this foundation. So they've got to report back to their board what happened to the money. How'd you spend the money? That's why it's not free, right? So when they ask for a report, they want to be able to report back to their donors, to their board of directors, as you have. As a nonprofit organization, you have a board of directors, right? And that board is supposed to be looking at your funds, not just your grant dollars, but looking at your overall sustainability budget. Same thing with the foundations. They got to account for the money that they give out. So they're asking for a report. After the end of the spending, what'd you do with the money? How'd you spend it? How many people did you serve? And that hopefully will lend them to giving you more money the next cycle, right? They want to know who did well with the money. We can consider giving them more the next time. That's how it works, guys. You don't want a grant one time. Why? Because what are you going to do next year for that same program? What's going to happen in next year? Accountability. Accountability is key. Right? Which is why I'm always saying to you guys, please make sure you have a sustainability plan. Please make sure you understand once those grant dollars run out, what's the plan? What we going to do next? And we can't wait until the funds run out. We can't wait till the funds run out. What are we going to do when the funds run out? No, we've got to understand that by the time these funds run out, what am I going to do next? What's the next step? That's a part of the sustainability plan. I say every day, why do nonprofit organizations fail? Why do they fail? Because they do not have a sustainability plan. They are not able to articulate impact and poor leadership. Who's the leadership? The board of directors and the executive, who are supposed to be looking at the sustainability plan. All right? So if you are not able to communicate your impact, not only in a grant, which only makes up about 20% of your overall operating budget, that same program impact should be able to help you raise the other 80% that you need for your organization to sustain itself. Okay? But grants are great ways to get money. They are great ways to sustain and support your program, but they are not designed to maintain your organization. That is not what grant dollars are for, right? They will help you offset some expenses, but those are designated dollars. Those grants come so that you will fund that program. What about the rest of the organization? Okay, you want to find unrestricted dollars. That's what you need, unrestricted dollars. Okay. And in the class, in the workshop that I'm going to be doing on the 27th, I talk about how you will identify those other funds to help your organization sustain itself. I'm not just a grant writer, guys. I have been in the nonprofit organization for close to 30 years. I've been the executive director. I've worked on program. I understand the finances. I have coached and trained in this area for close to 30 years. Program, finance, development. What is development? Fund development. Fund development for the organization, for the finances to deliver the program to sustain itself, to sustain the organization. You don't have a program if you don't have an organization. You don't have finances unless you understand development. They all work together, not competing. They all are a priority. I have to understand how I can use this program to get the development needs I need met to finance. All of it works together. All of it works together. All right. Are there any questions for me? Any questions at all? I just wanted to come on really quickly and drop that nugget on you. I have the bit.ly in my profile for the upcoming training on Wednesday, April 27th. Wednesday, April 27th. It's going to be at 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be a webinar. You'll be able to hear from me, answer all of your questions regarding sustainability, organizational structure, and how to raise money in the other 80% of your organization, which is key, because that is what a grantor wants to know as well. They want to know your budget. They want to see how solvent is your organization. They want to understand that you know how to manage the funds that that you're seeking. They want to make sure that you are in position to do that, right? So it's not just about expenses and getting the grant, because you need more than one grant. One grant ain't going to help you. You need a bunch of grants. You're going to need a grant every year. You're going to need grants every year. All right? So the money is there. The question is not, Jen, is this a great idea to get money? That's not the question. The question is, do I have a program that will fit the guidelines of a funder? That's the question. All right? Hi, Miss Rhonda. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining. All right, guys. I guess there are no questions. I don't see any hearts. Nobody invited followers. Hi, woman of God. How are you? How are you? I'm about to go and work on my message for tomorrow, actually, right now. But I just wanted to jump on quickly. Is there any questions at all about your organization, about writing for your organization, understanding the foundation application process? I do. Do you have a webinar? Yes, I have a webinar coming up. The link is on my profile here on Periscope. It's the bit.ly get grant funding now. That's the webinar on Wednesday, April 27th. It's $47. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I hope you'll be able to join us. It's going to be a really powerful webinar. I designed it because I knew that there was those of you guys who could not get in the grant writing boot camp. So I wanted to make something that would be comprehensive, as well as give you an opportunity to ask me your questions regarding not just grant funding, because that's important. However, understanding how your organizational structure should also be in place so that you can get the other 80% of funding that you need. Grant dollars should only be, will there be a replay as well? Of the webinar or of this? Of the webinar? Now let me say that the webinar, if you pay by the 16th of April, it's $47. After the 16th, it goes up to $67. And then after that, it's just going to go. Yes, of the webinar. Yes. So if you pay, you're not able to be on the live webinar, there will be a link. Yes. If you pay before the 16th of April, it'll only be $47 and you will get the link. But if it's after that, it'll be $67. Do you work with anyone one-on-one? Yes, I do. I do. I've designed the boot camp to be a one-on-one process. You're welcome. You're welcome, Minister. Thank you so much, woman of God. I do work with people one-on-one. The boot camp is a very one-on-one process, and we go through, I walk everybody through their program. all right, through their program. What does that mean? That means people who come to me and say, Jennifer, I have this idea that I want to get funding for, but I don't know where to begin. All right. Can you help me craft my goals, my objectives, my impact, understand my partnerships, and help me understand how my organization should be structured for the accountability piece, right? So we walk through that in the boot camp, which is the most inexpensive and most reasonable way to work with me one-on-one, all right? And so we go through that boot camp process where we go through a real grant application. It's a grant proposal that we go through. So by the time we are finished with this process, you will have completed the grant proposal. You will understand your background, you will understand your history, you will understand the program description, you will understand you are welcome. You are welcome. If you haven't, get on my calendar. We can talk about it. My calendar link is on my profile as well. bit.ly time with Jen. And I offer a 45-minute free consult, just to ask me all your questions one-on-one about, Jen, this is what I want to do. What do you think I should start? All right. On this coming Wednesday at 3:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, I'm going to have a lady that I helped go through the process. I'm going to have her here live on Periscope, and she's going to talk about how she got started. I'm going to schedule time with you. I need assistance. Awesome. Get on my calendar for next week, and I'll be happy to talk to you. All right, guys, any other questions for me? Before I let you guys go, please have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I hope that you'll be in somebody's house tomorrow. I'm going to go and finish my message for tomorrow. Any more questions? No? All right. Well, I just ask that God bless you, keep you this rest of this weekend, that he make his face shine upon you, that your ideas, your thoughts, your desire to help others, that you are strengthened to do that. All right. What is the message for you? Yes, you were telling. Oh, same to you. Thank you. The message tomorrow is sifting. Right? When Jesus said to Peter, the enemy desires to sift you as wheat, right? My message is around, that's about the lady coming on. Thank you. I kind of stopped right in the middle of that sentence, right? So she'll be coming on, segue back. The lady will be coming on Wednesday at 3:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And she will be, I think she's in, I'm not sure I forgot where she is. She's in another state. Anyway, she's on Central Standard Time. So she and I will be here on Periscope on Wednesday at 3:00 p.m., 5 o'clock, or 6 o'clock, depending on where you are, Central or Eastern. And she's going to be talking about her getting started and going from not having a clue where to begin, but a wonderful program. Her program is amazing, as is everybody who's in the boot camp. But she now is able to go out and start raising money. So I wanted people to hear from her that journey of, I got my nonprofit status, but I don't know where to start. I just don't know where to begin. And I think that her story is really compelling and what a lot of people will be able to relate to. Myself, who've done this work for close to 30 years, sometimes I say things and people are like, I don't get it. I know what I want to do, Jen, but I still don't get it. I was like, maybe they'll get it from her because she's in it. She's going through it herself. So she'll be here on Wednesday with me on Periscope. So if you guys can tune in, please do. She's got an amazing story, an amazing journey. She doesn't even know, I don't even know how she found me here on Periscope. Just a little over a month ago. And she got in the boot camp and she is doing her thing. I mean, went from I don't know where to begin to where now she's out in the community raising money. So I just wanted her to, I asked her if she would come and share her story, and she agreed. And I'm just humbled that she would do so. But tomorrow's message is, how sovereign God is. God is so sovereign. He's like, oh, by the way, the enemy's coming to you and he's going to sift you. Yeah, he wants me. He talks to me about it. We got that thing all worked out. And I told him, go ahead forward. But when you return, don't forget your brethren. One translation, it says, when you are converted. And I just want us to understand the sifting process. What the enemy means for evil, God says, it's going to work out for your good. You're going to be strengthened. And by the way, when you get back over here. When you come back, don't forget your brethren. So my message tomorrow is going to be about the process of sifting, how it's not designed by God to tear us down, but to strengthen us, and how we respond to being shaken, how we respond to having all of those things that should fall off come off. Just let them go. Just please let them go. Just recognize them, let them go, so that when you come back stronger, more focused, more determined, and not able to fall for what took you the other way in the beginning. That's what I'm studying for tonight. I don't know how. I just pray that the Lord just have his way. But I'm dealing with a lot of people who are unsure, right? We cannot say, God, you said, and not believe what he said. We can't say, God, I pray, but not believe that the one we pray to is sovereign and knows even when we're being sifted, knowing even when we go through the trials. The Bible says that when we go through the trials, we ought to go through the trials with joy, and we should ask for wisdom. Don't say ask for the way out. Don't say get me out. It says ask for wisdom. I said, all right, we're going to teach how to ask for wisdom. We need wisdom. Yes, we need wisdom. So that's what I'm going to be studying for tonight. I'm excited about that word. The Lord's just been giving me that to encourage others. All right. You guys are awesome. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me on this Saturday. I pray that you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening, and that the Lord just really speaks to you throughout the rest of this day, tomorrow, and the rest of the week as you step forward in your purpose. In your purpose of serving others. That's what we all have, that same purpose. All right. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in. To the replay viewers, thank you for your hearts as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings. And I'll probably see you at some point tomorrow, if not rest of the day today. Blessings.